Hey, what is going on, guys? This is me giving you another gameplay of me giving you the best Badwater engineer spot in my opinion. This is just going to show you how to set up. And before you attempt this spot, there's a few things that you need. The main thing you need is another engineer, so I will be joined by Epic Jester on this one, my close friend, and we're both experienced engineers. I failed this jump a few times, but you get the general gist, is to jump on top of the dispenser and jump and place your teleporter. Fail it again. We'll just wait. There are some funny comments going on, saying about how we have 5 engineers and people are laughing. I was thinking of stopping the recording, but seems to carry on as a team, evens itself out, and we do get going well, and the team works together well, which is crucial to this spot. So once the teleporter's up, you need the second engineer to stay in spawn and start building up. As you can see, he's already building up back here. And what you want to do is you want to build up here, because there's no metal, unless the enemy take the checkpoint to move through to the gate. But there's no metal, so build up here. And once you're built up, you need to go through the teleporter and set up there. We do have a third tag-on engineer that's just randomly building his stuff here. I don't know what he was doing because he didn't even join us in the spot, but the whole team were congregating around this teleporter. Sometimes you might want to tell the enemy team, your friendly team, that not to take the teleporter, because it does lead to a spot that goes nowhere, and people call me a griefer for doing that, but it's not griefing. It helps the team out in the long run. Funnily enough, when we were setting up this spot, we did get a lone wanderer scout who spotted us back here and killed us. But luckily I shouted out to the other engineers to hit my teleporter, and we did manage to stay alive in this spot, and it worked out for us in the end. So you need to take your stuff through and set up, and after you've set up, this is where the first sentry spot will go, on this corner here with like a little bit of an angle so it's pointing at the door. Then pick up all the stuff from the outside and place it inside where I place it. Epic Jester does place his sentry in the wrong spot to start with, but I do correct him. That's where you want to put your teleporter. Just to let you know, the teleporter is the most important part of this, not the sentries, as you need the team really to work with you. If the team doesn't work with you and take the teleporter, then this spot will not work. So make sure your teleporter's up to level 3 and make sure that people know where it is. And that's me correcting Epic Jester there. You want to place one of the sentries on the cliff to protect the cliff that looks at the cart. The only unfortunate thing with that spot is it does kind of get taken out quickly, but you can keep placing it up, and that spot is just mainly to troll the enemy and let you know that you're here, really. So just wait till we get fully upgraded here. With these 2 engineer spots, you pretty much cover the whole area here, and you won't get any griefing from Ubers or anything like that. There's too much spread between the sentries for anything like that to happen. The only problem is probably a spy that backstabs me, or there's no real threat really, because I can't imagine a spy being skilled enough to backstab 2 engineers and then zap all the stuff without an enemy spotting. As you see there, make sure you do guard your teleporter, as it is the most important. When you're fully upgraded, you just need to wait. There's 2 roles you can play with this engineer spot. I'll just wait here actually. Just you got to be careful coming around that corner. You don't want to die. And our team is pushing up strong. We've got an Uber and a heavy. I think in a minute I'll be showing you a spot to hide if anything happens. As you can see there, that's the kind of ground that the sentry would cover. And this is a spot here. A crouch jump will get you up here. And if an enemy wipes your spot and you jump up here, they usually won't spot you. And it's a great place to hide until they run away, and then you can set up teleporter again and then start all over again. Because the main thing you don't want to do is lose your teleporter and die, because the enemy has taken the cap point, and it's a long walk back, and it's virtually impossible to get back to the spot without being seen. There is 2 spots that you can take as this NG. You can take 2 spots, 2 roles, sorry. You can play the hidden engineer, which is where you try and hide the spot and try and stay hidden until they take the next spawn point, and then you can troll their spawn with sentries, which does some really bad damage to them. Or you can be the outright come and shoot me engineers like we're doing now, where you'll go out and provoke them and taunt them near you to get sentry kills and overall distract them from the carts. That's the role that we're playing now, and it ends up working well for us as the team push up. We get so bored that we end up pushing up with them. So we're fully upgraded here. Just waiting for something to happen. We're expecting an Uber push, and Epic Jester's gone to the spawn to build his entrance as he forgot. Again, this is the smart spy coming at me, trying to take out the teleporter, but Jester took him out. If you are a spy and you see this spot, I have seen this spot done before. I've never seen it done with 2 engineers. I'm not saying that I invented the spot, but just saying this is my take on it, and it's very good, in my opinion, the best spot. That's part 1 of the video, because it's split into segments. I'll be joining you soon. Hello, I'm back for part 2, and I fixed myself a refreshing, cold, fizzy beverage, as I did have some throat problems. If you hear me taking a sip, do not be offended, even though you'll never be offended. Carrying on with the gameplay, I just wanted to discuss one of the issues with this spot is when you don't have a strong team, is that most engineer spots by general law are therefore to protect the cart, and when you have 2 engineers, 2 players which aren't protecting the cart, it can be easy for the enemy team to just roll you. And that's why I can't stress enough having a good team and having 2 good engineers. I don't want to brag about me and Jester, but we did carry this team. Without this spot, we would have just chose standard, you know, stock spots on the cliff and the final spots under the little cubby hole. And they're okay. I mean, they used a lot for a reason, but these unorthodox spots can shock the enemy, especially when they don't know how to deal with them. And the enemy team really did not know how to deal with these spots. You cannot just come one enemy at a time and just, you know, come and try and charge us, because one enemy versus level 3 sentry just not going to work. And as you can see here, me and Jester are now pushing up, as we know now that we've got a firm hold on the enemy team, and they really aren't going to be causing us any troubles in the nest. But sorry, I had to burp there. Epic Jester just got burned there. But what you have to do is you have to keep coming back to the spot, and I kept on giving shout-outs to Jester, or he gave shout-outs to me, saying one person needs to be in the nest, because a spy, if a spy unexpectedly gets behind you, then he will just zap the spot, and it's hard to recover if a heavy just charges you. As you can see there, me and Jester going around in teams. Combat Engineer is a good class because if you're using shotgun and pistol, you got 125 health each and 2 bodies. It's hard for enemies to take out, especially when you're backed up with pyros, and I think we have 2 heavies as well. So you do want to get your body shown and show that you're an offensive force, and this enemy really does not stand a chance at us at the moment, and there's not much I can say about the gameplay, but they, as you can see there, they've got snipers and really typical bad classes, and a single heavy against this amount of enemies and a single soldier just doesn't stand a chance. There is 1 medic there, but he fails to really carry his team. never see any Ubers from him, as they're not really given enough time to get out the spawn and prepare. And then you've got the classical panic engineer setting up a level 3 right outside the spawn. That will get whipped down in seconds. Not the best class to choose. Probably their best option now is just bringing waves of spies at us. If they brought a coordinated wave of spies, so a wave of spies, one spy at the teleporter end and one spy in the actual nest, spamming zappers at us, that could cause some threats, but I can't imagine an organised wave like that coming. And I can't imagine this spot being any good in like a Highlander lobby or anything like that, because one, for Highlander you can't have 2 engineers, and plus you do really need the engineer up front on the cart. I'm not sure whether they do play Highlander payload. I'm not really know much about Highlander, but I'm pretty certain this spot won't work, just in case you're watching there. Toasty Engineer was giving us thanks there, saying good job to us. It's obviously talking about the teleporters, and I almost go flawless in this game, but I do not go flawless, which I was disappointed about. I do get 1 death here against a sentry. Toasty Engineer is also giving shoutouts for spies and stuff. Death wasn't all bad for me, because I noticed that the spawn points had switched, and that the spawners on the lower side of the map having to walk all the way around. So what I did is I moved the teleporter and I dropped it just in the middle of the floor, so a few more people will be able to see it and be able to take it instead of having to walk all the way around. I'm not sure what the scores were at the end of this game, but I'm pretty sure that me and Jester did pretty well, as we got, as you can see there, I've got 4 kills on my sentry and 36 teleports, so definitely a team player here. Just checking the stats there, we went from 5 engies at the start to 3, so 2 of them are me and Jester, so we've got the 1 engie which is probably protecting the cart with, yeah, he's on the cliff, I can see his dispenser there, which is good actually, because I wouldn't recommend having a 3rd engineer, but you can't really control what other people choose, so that's their choice. Again, classical combat engineer, making sure that one person's back at the nest. As you can see, spies are now starting to catch on how the enemies are getting here so fast, and it's because of the teleporters. And if you can see there, Epic Jester's dispenser placement, it's actually placed in a diagonal over the teleporter, so if a spy, sorry, that's the end of a part, sorry about that, back to the video. So if a spy decides to take a teleporter from the back and try and get in that way, the dispenser will block him, and if he's not an experienced player and he doesn't know how to crouch jump, he will be stuck there, forcing him to zap his way out, instead of being able to, you know, get zaps on the sentry or backstabs or anything like that. So that's always recommended, considering we're not really using the dispensers. I could have moved mine into a around the teleporter as well, just in case there was a gap. But that was the end of the video, and thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you got some good knowledge about this great spot on Badwater.